you had known Ashton Kutcher for a long time.
Yeah.
And then now you're having children with him. When did it move from the friend zone to the end zone?
He's in a picture of the baby. Who does he look like? Who does he look like?
Okay, Deontay.
The prosecutor asked Nash, "What did you hear Mr. Combs say when he came up to the car window?" Nash answers that she effed up and that he was going to put her sex tapes on the internet. He was going to release them on schedule, that he was going to first start by sending them to her parents' jobs, and he was going to get them fired. Nash told Cassie to let Diddy release the tapes because he'd be on them too.
I was a kid when I started 70 Show, and everybody was much older. Like, Ashton did my chemistry homework for me. Like, he was so not the guy that I was like, oh, you're so hot. Like, I was just like,
it would have been inappropriate.
It just wasn't even, it wasn't.
Totes inappropriate.
Like, yeah, like, it's on all levels.
What if I told you Hollywood's golden boy, Mr. Clean-cut tech investor himself, might have been hiding some of the darkest secrets in the game? We're talking bloodstained floors, underage scandals, and white parties with Diddy that make Eyes Wide Shut look like Sesame Street. And now, Ashton Kutcher is officially in the crosshairs. This is the story they don't want you to hear, so lean in. Let's start with the obvious. Ever since Diddy's world exploded into lawsuits and FBI raids, Ashton's been MIA. No red carpets, no interviews, no late night talk show smiles. Just silence. Now the streets are buzzing. Is he laying low or is he already in custody? Because here's the thing, Ashton and Diddy weren't just Hollywood acquaintances, they were close. As in football Sundays together, private parties, inner circle access kinda close. And as soon as Diddy got caught up, Ashton disappeared like a magician's final trick. But Ashton's clean image, smoke and mirrors. Let's rewind to high school. He wasn't getting detention for skipping class. He broke into his own school to steal cash and cheat. He got caught. 3rd-degree burglary, a felony. Boom, scholarship's gone, reputation wrecked. And just like that, Hollywood's poster child had a rap sheet. Of course, years later, after the fame and the money came in, the felony magically vanished, expunged, voting rights back, privilege at work. But it doesn't stop there. Let's talk white parties. The ones hosted by Diddy, lavish, exclusive, and now tied to disturbing allegations. Guess who was right there co-hosting with him? Yup, Ashton. And now old rumors are swirling again. Whispers that Ashton was romantically linked to Lindsay Lohan when she was just 16. If that feels familiar, it should.
And I didn't know what to do because I just polished my nails and I didn't want to mess up my manicure. You're such a good listener. I can't take it anymore.
What are you doing? Get off my lady!
Liz!
You shut your hot little mouth. You promised you wouldn't use anything I taught you in Danielle.
Come on, you can't give me a gun and expect me not to shoot people with it.
Danielle, you have to choose, him or me.
But
I said choose, woman.
Well, Fez, if I have to choose between the two of you, I mean, the choice is obvious.
Wilmer Valderrama, Ashton's wingman and longtime buddy, was known for the same kind of shady age gap dating. See the pattern? Now let's talk about the part of Ashton Kutcher's story that chills people to the core, the trail of tragic deaths surrounding those closest to him. It starts with Ashley Ellerin. She wasn't just another name, she was Ashton's girlfriend, a 22-year-old fashion student with her whole life ahead of her. The night she was murdered, Ashton was supposed to pick her up. He says he showed up late, looked through her window, and saw what he thought was spilled wine on the floor. But it wasn't wine, it was blood. Ashley had already been brutally killed inside the house. And what did Ashton do? He left. Didn't call the cops, didn't check inside, just walked away. For years, people have side-eyed that moment. Who sees red stains and doesn't even knock? Fans have called it bizarre, cold, and honestly, unbelievable. But Ashley's story isn't the only one that raises questions. Let's talk about Brittany Murphy. The world remembers her as the bright, quirky actress from Clueless and 8 Mile. But behind the bubbly exterior was a woman whose life ended far too soon. She died suddenly at just 32. The official cause? Pneumonia and anemia. Okay? Tragic, right? But get this. Just a few months later, her husband Simon Monjack died too. same exact cause. Pneumonia, anemia, 2 sudden deaths, same house, same story. Now that's not just strange, it's eerie. People immediately started asking what really happened in that house, and where does Ashton fit in? Because guess who was close with Brittany? Yep, Ashton. They dated, they stayed friends, they were part of the same tight Hollywood circles, and it doesn't end there. Kim Porter, another Hollywood figure tied to the same elite social scene, also passed unexpectedly. Cause of death, pneumonia again. Now step back. Ashley Ellerin, brutally murdered. Brittany Murphy and Simon Monjack, mysterious dual deaths. Kim Porter, gone under hauntingly familiar circumstances. 3 women, all linked to the same inner circle, all taken way too young, and all with questions no one wants to answer. What do they have in common? Tragic endings, vague explanations, and a thread of silence wrapped tightly around every story. When you zoom out, it starts looking less like coincidence and more like a pattern, a chilling, calculated one. So the question becomes, did Ashton just happen to be nearby when tragedy struck again and again? Or is there something more behind the smiles, the fame, the carefully curated image? Because when death keeps following the same circle, it's no longer just bad luck. It's a red flag.
Now, one of the biggest moments came early when the defense asked the judge to declare a mistrial. The motion rejected. We also heard from a former stylist at Diddy's company. Now, he testified that Diddy threatened to leak sex tapes of her online. He said he saw Diddy beat his friend Cassie and heard him vow to bury her music if she didn't do what he said. The stylist's name is Deontay Nash.
Enter Deontay Nash, Diddy's former stylist. His court testimony cracked everything wide open. He said Diddy threatened Cassie, beat her, controlled her music, and even filmed sex tapes of her with other men, allegedly without her consent. And when Cassie didn't obey, Diddy threatened to leak the tapes and get her parents fired by sending the videos to their workplaces.
The prosecutor asked Nash, "What did you hear Mr. Combs say when he came up to the car window?" Nash answers that she effed up and that he was going to put her sex tapes on the internet. He was going to release them on schedule, that he was going to first start by sending them to her parents' jobs, and he was going to get them fired. Nash told Cassie to let Diddy release the tapes because he'd be on them too.
This is the man Ashton was in business with. Parties, tech deals, secrets. And speaking of secrets, Ashton's nonprofit Thorn was built to fight child exploitation online. A noble cause, right? Until people started digging. Redacted documents, Freedom of Information Act requests, whispers of shady connections and way too many convenient coincidences. And then, out of nowhere, Ashton steps down from the board. No statement, no warning, just poof, gone. Ashton, Danny Masterson, Wilmer Valderrama, Diddy. This wasn't just a Hollywood friend group, it was a power-packed inner circle. Private jets, secret meetings, and allegedly some deeply disturbing behavior. Even their bar, co-owned by Wilmer, had staff allegedly instructed not to card underage girls at Wilmer's table. And who was always right there? Ashton. Now the internet is calling it what it is, a pipeline, a hunting ground, a protected space for predators. Now here's where everything flips. Behind the scenes, whispers started turning into roars. Mila Kunis has allegedly filed for divorce. And honestly, it tracks. Think about it. The timing is too perfect. As Diddy's empire crumbles, Ashton's name starts surfacing. His past, under a spotlight, his silence, deafening. And Mila, quietly stepping to the side. Gone are the Instagram date nights. No more cozy interviews, the cute couple vibe, radio silent. And when Ashton quietly stepped down from his nonprofit, Thorn, right as the heat turned up, that's when people started saying, Mila's done cleaning up this mess. She stood by him when the Danny Masterson allegations hit. She defended him when people dragged their ties to Scientology. But now, it looks like this was the final straw. Because here's the cold truth. Mila's not just a wife, she's an A-list brand. And with Ashton's name being linked to Diddy, underage allegations, and white parties dripping with secrets, her reputation's on the line too. Insiders say she's been distancing herself for months, moving finances, limiting public appearances, prepping for fallout. This isn't just a Hollywood breakup, it's a strategic exit, a calculated move to survive the fallout. Because when the house of cards collapses, no one wants to be caught holding the king. And Ashton, he's scrubbing his image solo now. No Mila, no marriage, just him, and a growing storm of receipts, rumors, and retribution. So the question becomes, did Mila finally see the full picture? Or has she known all along and just couldn't keep covering for him? So now it's your turn to weigh in. Is Ashton just guilty by association? Or is he part of something way darker? Was Mila covering for him all this time? And what really happened at those parties? Drop your theories in the comments. We read everything. And if you've got receipts, bring them. Smash that like button if you're tired of Hollywood hiding the truth. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's coming next, you won't want to miss it. Stay watching, stay woke. See you in the next one.